Brought to you by DraftKings. NFL Week 1 is here, and a new season means new ways to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Fans have spoken. We want to bet on touchdowns. DraftKings heard us and is delivering. DraftKings Sportsbook is the number one place to bet touchdowns. As a company, we're all doing touchdowns. I put in Derrick Henry this week. Anyone else?
I was Zach Moss.
Zach Moss, Jack?
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have Jonathan Taylor, too. I do
We're
not
talking about our contest, right?
Yes, I have Jonathan Taylor as well. So me and Jack are on the same.
Yeah.
What about you?
I got Spicy.
Okay.
Jameson Williams. Breakout year.
All right. Who do you
What is
got?
he, plus what?
210.
Okay.
I'm going for the week as well.
Oh, you're going for the week? I think I'm going for the week too, plus 265.
Ooh.
Kylan Ransom.
Look at the
Think about it for a
look at the last name. But yeah, everyone bet touchdowns. Ready to do a touchdown dance of your own. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly, plus one month of NFL Plus premium on us. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PickCentral. That's code PickCentral for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 and get 1 month of NFL Plus premium on us. Offer ends September 19th on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Speaking of the crown, we have our guest today. Every Thursday for the college football, we have Brad, who is 1-0 on his bets, on his best bets. Thank you very much, Brad. Thank you very much. Wasn't an easy one.
No.
I mean,
Pays the same.
Exactly. It started off, I was like, this is going to be the easiest bet of all time. Like 7 seconds in, interception, pick six. But yeah, what was your overall week 1 thoughts? Anything stand out? Any overreactions? What do you got so far?
Well, I don't think it's an overreaction at this point. I think the lead would be Florida State. I mean, historically bad. I mean, only 10 times since, or actually 3 times since 1990 has a team lost outright as a double-digit favorite in their first 2 games. So, I mean, but this is a team that expectations were ACC favorite coming in, and now, right now, they're probably a slight dog to make a bowl game. So, I mean, this was a team that was 13-0 last year, and not making a bowl game the next year just shows you. The ebbs and flows in the transfer portal era. I think the other one, I thought the SEC outside of Georgia looked rather mediocre.
Yep.
And they came up short in their 3 games. Florida getting embarrassed at home by Miami. Texas A&M's favored over Notre Dame. They have to win that game. I know it's a first game of a first-year coach, but you're at home in that atmosphere, tied in the 4th quarter. You let Notre Dame's young offensive line drive down the field twice in the second half? Come on. So that's disappointing for A&M, and then obviously disappointing on that Sunday night for LSU. They're favored over USC. No excuses there for them to lose that game. So SEC a little bit down, in my opinion. You won't hear that on ESPN, though.
No. They had the best. It's the Georgia and Alabama one and Tennessee, so it's all right.
60+. 4
Yeah.
teams are 60+.
Yeah. 2 questions for the group. Get you some questions. One, it's not really a question, but the new Florida quarterback is going to be unbelievable. I decided.
Buying him?
Yeah, sure. Whatever his name is. I looked at someone.
DJ Lagway?
I saw a highlight tape. Holy shit, this guy's unbelievable.
Who's
You're
in that
laying
Gatorade
You're laying it
commercial?
against. They're playing Samford this week,
Yeah.
not Stanford. Samford.
Yeah. Oh, I know Stanford. That's a college basketball school I've bet on. That's they stink. So yeah, I'm betting on Florida. Overreactions is I have a question about 2 teams that people say they could win a national championship, whatever. Oregon got off to a really, really slow start against Idaho, and Michigan did kind of they won by 20, but they started slow. Is there any worry in these teams for you or no?
Well, I'll start off with Michigan. I mean, it's all relative to market expectations. I didn't think they were a national title contending team this year, even though they're defending champs. In fact, I would have bet the no on them to make the playoff. So, I mean, I bet under their win total. I thought this was coming in this season a 9-3 team at best, and now might be closer to 8-4 because that SC game looks a lot tougher now in a couple weeks. And obviously now they're a 7.5-point home underdog this week to Texas. We'll get to that game in a second. But yeah, I downgraded them slightly, but not like, oh, wow, I changed my entire position on them. Oregon, I don't want to overreact to week one, but if they, and I still would lean with them this week against Boise, but if they are going to meet their preseason expectations, that offensive line was not good. I mean, they allowed 3 sacks to Idaho. To put in perspective, Oregon last year allowed 5 sacks for the season, 3 against Idaho. So that's
not good.
No, it's not good.
But I'm a huge Oregon this week will be probably just one of my bigger bets because of the overreaction. Usually, that's when the top teams like that. Because like you said, if you watched anything of Michigan did in the offseason, you're not they're reloading to be an unbelievable team again. But Oregon is definitely a national championship contender. So that's what I think.
I think they destroy Boise State.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Brad, the game I want to talk about the most is Tennessee NC State. I was super high in NC State coming into the year. I thought they'd be a dog horse. I had them in the ACC title game. Defense scared me a lot against Western Carolina. Did not like the way they looked. Lines went up a lot. How good Tennessee looked. Nico, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't think this is an overreaction. To put in perspective, so both teams played an FCS team last week, Chattanooga and Western Carolina. They're about power rated similarly. So, I mean, it wasn't like one team's one of the best teams in the FCS and one's one of the worst. No, they're about the same. So, I mean, obviously one team won by 60, another was losing entering the fourth quarter. So you have to move the power ratings a little bit. The thing that I'm most concerned about NC State, you mentioned the defense. This is a game where I think it really shows that Peyton Wilson, their 3-year starting linebacker, runs a 4.40 despite not having any ACLs in his knees. I mean, he can move sideline to sideline, coordinate the defense. I mean, Tennessee's offense last week, I know it's just against Chattanooga, but their starters only played a half, and they still put up 700 yards. That looked like Tennessee's offense from 2 years ago when they were the best offense in the country. I don't know how NC State defends them in space. So if I had to play it, even at the current numbers, I'd lay it.
Fuck NC State. Fuck them. They
always beat Duke in basketball.
No, they don't. That fat fuck.
Literally always.
That fat fuck got lucky. Jack, you had something?
Yeah. I want to take you back. Nice to meet you, Brad. My name's Jack. I want to take you back to FCS, a specific team that played against Texas Tech this past week in Abilene Christian. And I was shocked to see how well they passed the ball in Texas Tech. Not to say that Texas Tech has some spectacular pass defense, but they put up 510 yards passing, which was shocking to me. I even went into the Abilene Christian media book to see the last time they did this. It was a record. They've never thrown for that many yards. I was going back to their stats. Their quarterback last year threw for 1,800 yards, 2,000 yards behind before that. This weekend, they have Washington State. And I was looking at that number with Texas Tech and thinking, decent spot, tough place to play in Wazoo. But Wazoo also is coming into this new era with a new quarterback. What do you think about that game? Is there a lot of concern with you for Texas Tech's passing defense? Because Abilene Christian isn't Houston Baptist of Bailey Zappi a few years ago where they just throw the ball left and right. 500 yards against them is shocking. And I was looking to target them, but maybe I was a little bit concerned. I took the over. Is that a sucker bet, or what are you thinking about that game? Late on Saturday night, it will be a darling the bet.
Yeah, it seems like a sucker bet, but I bet it too. I don't know how you couldn't bet it after watching these two teams, at least at week one. You got to react somewhat. There's massive concerns about Texas Tech's defense, not just from what happened last week, but they got a couple starters out even for this week. So I agree with the over money. I agree with the money on Washington State here. Not like there's an easy plane ride from Lubbock to Pullman, Washington. So I'm sure there's some busing or some layovers involved there. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Abilene Christian. Put them in perspective. They're not even like a top 35 FCS team. So that was that was darn near one of the more shocking upsets. I mean, would have been the biggest upset in college football in the last couple of years. So, yeah, that was, you got to downgrade Texas Tech significantly.
Yeah, truly shocking. I was looking at the box score of the game. I watched the end of it, but it was just it took me by such surprise. I think it was the most shocking result, even though they lost, of week 1. I mean, obviously Florida State, you couldn't have predicted that, but with Abilene Christian, because they've barely even made the FCS playoffs in the past. I know you're the FCS expert, but I feel like they haven't.
No, they haven't. They're not a perennial power in the FCS at all. So,
do you ever think of
bad
those?
luck for Texas Tech.
Do you ever think of those games as Texas Tech overlooked them, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, macro level, that's what makes week 1 tough. You know, how serious are you taking the games? And then after the games are played, well, how serious, you got a question, were they taking the game seriously? Were they, looking ahead to week 2? That's why this week is great, because now I have 2 data points and I can start connecting the dots on some teams. But generally speaking, though, I mean, even though they were the one to sneak by, if you just bet the favorite in every FBS versus FCS game on the money line, just the favorite in every game on the money line, you went 61-0. There was not one upset.
Yeah, I heard a certain bettor did that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name. His name's banned on air, but I did hear a certain bettor did that.
I think we all know, and that's funny.
Yeah, 50 stars on each game.
Yeah, he gave that out to all his play. Yeah, I can't even. Let's get into the big games this week. Well, first of all, shout out myself for Notre Dame. My Notre Dame championship.
That's a big win.
It's the season's over for them. They just can't fuck up on.
What's your number one concern for the rest of the season?
Georgia Tech. That's
gotta be USC. Yeah, USC for sure.
They can lose USC. I don't care about that. They can already. You don't think they can go 11-1?
Yeah, they can lose that if they're 11-0. But
that's what I'm saying. So that's where, like, obviously I'm concerned about USC, but they're a team that will lose to a Georgia Tech or like the one that you
really
don't
want that 5 seed though.
You need it.
Yeah,
because if you go 8-9, really tough game probably, and then you have to play the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. They want the 5. The 5 is actually as good as any seed, to be honest with you, the way the path is, especially for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I give you credit, Marty. I don't know if my mic's on or not, but I give you credit. Nice.
It's not plugged in.
I got to give you credit. Shout out yourself. Good for
Yeah,
you.
thank you. I appreciate that.
One quick question about USC. Lincoln Riley, obviously historically there, no defense whatsoever. Held LSU to 20 points. Is that sustainable all season? Is this a new team that we're looking at, or is it going to go right back to where it was?
No, I think it's sustainable. I mean, LSU, I know they lost the Heisman Trophy winner and 2 first-round draft picks at wide receiver, but they're still, I thought was going to be, top 15 offense this year. So that'll be one of the better offenses they face. I love their defensive coordinator, DeAnton Lynn. I think he'll be a head coach very soon, whether it's the NFL, whether it's college. I mean, he turned around UCLA's defense in 1 season a year ago. I mean, he's got better talent at USC, and they look pretty functional. I mean, they look like they had a clue. So I think it can carry forward. And if that's the case, if you have not necessarily a top 10, top 20 defense, but you're just, above average compared to bad, and then you have that offense that plays within Lincoln Riley's system. It's not playground hero ball like last year with Caleb Williams. I mean, Miller Moss is making his right reads, and they're scheming it up. I'm not gonna say they're live in the Big Ten, because obviously Ohio State and Oregon are better, but they could be the 3rd best team in the Big Ten. Penn State's in there as well, but I guess what I'm getting at is 9-3 is achievable, and that would be a tremendous first season for USC.
And also, shout out to you. You did say take the under in that game. And that was
I know it wasn't popular.
That was a clear over game for any better. Like anyone sees that, and then that was very under. The slate, I don't love the slate this week. It's as games just to watch. But Texas, Michigan, 12 o'clock. What's your read on that? Texas obviously looked fantastic first week.
Yeah, I like Michigan plus 7.5. I think there's no overreaction. You could have bet this game in any book, including DraftKings, all summer long. Even up till the game started last week, and Texas was favored by 3.5. I just think it's a big overreaction.
3.5?
Yeah, it was 3.5
Oh,
all summer
shit.
at every book. So, I mean, not that it's a liquid market. You're betting millions, and you can bet millions of dollars, but still, if there was value at that point, people would be betting Texas. So, with a low total, I like Michigan. I'll tell you what, I still think Michigan's defensive front's elite.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get after Texas a little bit, and I'll take the 7.5, even though, I mean, Michigan's quarterback play leaves a lot to be desired. But, man, I think this is a disrespected defending national champ getting above the key number 7.
At home too, like that's like,
Huge jump.
Yeah.
huge jump. But again,
They haven't lost a home game in since 2020.
Yeah,
Is that really?
yeah, and they've also,
Yeah.
but again, they did not look great against.
I guess I look at that game and I'm just, how do they score? I mean, obviously they'll get like it's just Orgy and Warren just looked bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Warren, right? Most of the time.
That we assume so. I mean, Orgy does have that kind of, but if you're an average quarterback for this team, I think they're a very, very good team.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if they can be average.
I did think the more shocking thing to me was like their offensive line wasn't getting that same push. Like against Fresno, where Fresno, listen, they're like a good Mountain West team, but you go play Texas, a whole different thing. The fact that they weren't able to bully Fresno is, I agree with Jack where I struggle to see what they do on offense. The defense is definitely elite still, but I just don't know how I don't see how they score.
That linebacker they brought in from Maryland is legit. What's his name, Brad?
Barham.
Yeah, that defense is, and then obviously they have Will Johnson, who's going to be top 5, top
Mason
10.
Graham, down. Like they still have a lot. Like there's still a ton of guys.
They're loaded.
A ton of guys on defense.
Yeah.
I took the under there because I just thought there may be like a weird rock fight.
Yeah.
Even though we do have, I mean, that
I can see that.
That Texas wide receiver room is, I mean, you want to talk about they could run in the Olympics. Like these guys are, it's unbelievable how fast they are.
I imagine a lot of NFL scouts at this one.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah.
See little Isaiah Bond, Will Johnson.
Yep.
You took the under. It's 42.5. That is.
I got it at 43.5.
Okay.
I really think also both these teams, you see like Quinn Ewers, these fast wide receivers, both these teams play relatively slow in terms of like seconds per play, at least average. So it's not like they're going to be running up to the line. And I just really struggle to see. And I think Texas has a pretty good defense. And even what they did against Colorado State, me and Ev were talking about this. Colorado State's nothing to bark at. They're a pretty good team for our G5 level. So I think I kind of see this game as a 28-10 or maybe 17-14 Texas wins or Michigan wins.
Wow.
I don't have a great read on the spread though. So because as Brad said, that jump is so much, and even though the market wasn't as liquid as it is now, it could be an overreaction. Like more times than not, when you're betting those overreactions, I feel like you're on the right side.
I'm looking at this slate. It's disgusting.
I got one.
What don't you like about it, Marty? Like,
It's just no. I'm saying more.
only
just
two
like,
ranked matchups.
it's 2 ranked matchups. There's
do
nothing.
you feel the same way, Brad? Do you think this is a weak slate?
They're all exciting because I bet about every game.
That's for a gambler. This
Attaboy.
is no, like I'm talking like a casual like wants to watch
Right, yeah,
football
yeah,
is
yeah.
not a
Yeah, the
great
casual
Saturday.
fan's not going to like
This is a
week.
great Saturday for us.
Honestly, the most like intriguing game I think might be like the unranked is I want Nebraska Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's interesting. Obviously, what happened in the game last year. Now with Rayola, what do you? Because me and Jack Mack talk about this game a little bit. He almost I think was starting to talk me into Colorado. What do you think,
Yeah.
Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I'm known as a Colorado hater, I guess, but it's all relative to market expectations. And I just think the market's unreasonable with Colorado. I don't think that's the case this week. In fact, I like Colorado. I think they're live in the game. I look at the line of scrimmage. Nebraska's way better. I'll give you that. And Colorado didn't look that much better last week. But I just look when Nebraska's defense is really good statistically on paper, they don't face a lot of wide open passing attacks facing Big Ten West teams. And you get Shedeur Sanders and 4 or 5 wideouts spread you out. I mean, they couldn't defend him in the second half of last year's game. So I struggle to see Nebraska getting margin here unless Colorado turns it over a bunch. And you're still expecting Dylan Raiola, who looked good, but a true freshman quarterback, to not only win the game in a big atmosphere, but then get margin. I don't see it. So I mean, if you shop around and get that hook, I like Colorado.
What do you think about the total?
I bet over.
That's what I was
know
thinking
that seems
too.
square, but
Because I just don't know. Because I agree with you. Where I think Colorado's going to score, and I think Nebraska should be able to score as well. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean they're more balanced. They can throw it this year. They'll bully Colorado's defense, but yeah, I think it looks obvious. But I can only look at what my own eyes saw in last week's games, and it just screams over to me.
That front seven for Colorado, I had a little bit, not even a little bit, much better expectations for. It's tough because you see the talent that they brought in, and they did bring in talent. And I feel like they kind of were hated upon with the transfer portal for this year, but I think the front seven was improved, but it didn't look it against NDSU.
No.
Like, they kind of just bullied them. I mean, they brought in some of those guys like BJ Green, I think his name was. Then they brought in a guy off the edge from Pittsburgh. But they just, I don't know. I feel like they should have at least held their own a little bit. But NDSU they got what they wanted.
And Nebraska's bigger, stronger, faster, almost across the board than North Dakota State.
I do have a game.
Nebraska will have success offensively.
I do have a game that's off, not
I
off
love
the
it.
board,
Bring
but one I talked with Ev about this. So it's Temple Navy. Temple's getting 13 points. And last
That's
year,
disgusting
it's a
game.
disgusting game. Don't get me wrong.
Brad had a huge smile.
Yeah.
Temple Navy. Brad's.
Now, and I was looking at this game, and last year Temple handled the triple option very well. And we come into it's a rematch of that. Temple won by, I think I even took Navy in that game last year, and they didn't end up covering. But you have any thoughts on that game? Obviously, Temple looked disgusting against Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's defense is looking like it may be an Oklahoma defense of the Bob Stoops era, or even a little bit better. Any thoughts on that game? Am I sucker looking at too much of last year's result? But I kind of like these schools that face the triple option. They know how to handle it, and you kind of get 13 points. The game's going to be slow, so hopefully maybe we may even get a 7-point. Anytime laying close to two touchdowns against for a triple option team, that's a lot of points for them to cover.
Agree. I didn't bet it, but I could only look Temple's way. I mean, just for the fact they were -6 in turnovers last week, so that screams value there. I mean, there'll be some regression. I wouldn't look at last year's matchup too much because Temple's one of the least experienced teams in the country this year, so that worries me a little bit. But I just, generally speaking, I don't like laying points with service academies. I like taking points with them because they slow the game down, fewer plays, fewer possessions. So I think just general rule, you take the dog in a lot of those games.
It's amazing, Brad. There's a little bit of virality going around how 10 years ago Temple was playing Notre Dame with College Game Day in town, basically for a BCS berth. And now they're fighting with like Kennesaw State for the worst program in FCS.
Matt Rule's a good coach.
Allegedly,
Great coach.
There's another game I wanted to talk to you about because Kyle McCord threw 4 touchdowns last week against Ohio. Is there any PTSD for you? You like
Zero?
All right. Syracuse, Georgia Tech. I think it's -2, -3. Georgia Tech.
3.
What do you have any feel on that game?
Yeah, I lean over. Didn't get too involved. I would say this. I thought it was a pretty sharp move on Syracuse. It happened on Monday night. So Syracuse was like 3.5 point underdog. And as you're watching Boston College go up and down the field on Florida State, I mean, the smart bettor was thinking to themselves, well, maybe we upgraded Georgia Tech too much and gave them too much credit for beating Florida State. Florida State might just suck and not be good. So I thought that was a sharp move in the market, but at the current lines, it seems right to me.
Yeah. Before we get your best pick, who is your – we were kind of talking about this on Monday. Who's your Heisman right now? Week 1 Heisman.
So just off of one data point, or who do I think is still going to win?
Who do you think's still going to win even after week 1?
Oh, wow. I'm going to go Carson Beck, Georgia.
So
he just looks like
He looked like
he might not put up the stats as a Cam Ward or Dylan Gabriel, but I mean, if you're projecting at the next level, he looks different than
Am I
everybody else.
crazy, or do people not respect him?
Oh, they never have.
Right?
Carson
Yeah,
Beck.
they haven't.
Like, I feel like because it's almost like a Brock Purdy situation where
Stetson Bennett.
What?
Because of Stetson Bennett.
Because of Georgia, like his Stetson Bennett
Also,
one
they
with
saw
Georgia.
him. The average fan probably watched Carson Beck last year against their last memory was him against Alabama.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the best game, but it wasn't like he lost them the game, but he certainly didn't win them the game.
Yeah.
So people just kind of like, and also they know the Snapchat from him. Like that's
It's true. But yeah, now Brad, let me get my.
Can I ask him one more question?
Yeah, of course.
Buy low candidates this week. A Michigan State. Who was the other one that we were talking about? Michigan State, and there was another team who's around that. South Carolina. Both teams had new quarterbacks. They have a Power 5 matchup this week. And their quarterbacks looked kind of just, if not mid, bad. I would actually say both looked bad. How are we feeling about those two? It seems as if the lines have moved against them. Are they good buy low opportunities? Are they just kind of those stay away and develop that second data point, and we'll go into week 3?
Probably need that second data point. I did bet South Carolina, and then I watched. That was before I watched the game play for play this morning. They should have lost Old Dominion. They were extremely fortunate to win the game. So I no longer can recommend taking them. I will always get the best. Now, if you get a 10.5 though on both, you can make worse bets this weekend. I'm not there on Michigan State. They were really bad. Maryland was better than expected, particularly on offense. I was stunned that they were pretty functional offensively. I mean, the market really bet against Maryland last week, thinking that their quarterbacks would stink, and that was not the case.
Yeah, and with Michigan or with South Carolina, Beamer looked after the game like he was worried. It wasn't like, oh, we were in a rock fight.
Yeah,
he looked.
Yeah,
like
he's going to be fired by the end of the year.
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, this may be it for me.
Yeah, he should be worried. That was bad. That was awful.
Can I ask a really quick one too? Just
course.
2 games. Auburn minus 13.5 against Cal. Auburn absolutely shit pumped the FCS. I think the FCS opponent last week. I love Auburn this year to begin with. I think this is an Auburn spread. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, keep in mind that FCS opponent they played was bottom 10.
Yep.
So
Yep.
big
It was
difference. I mean,
awesome.
just
What was it,
think
Mike?
about UMass to
What was the
Alabama.
spread? What was the spread?
Yeah, so
I took
yeah,
them.
they
Was
were
it
they played an
52.5?
extremely bad FCS team. With that being said, I did bet Auburn this week. I think they're a little under the radar. I think I even undervalued them when I bet them under their win total because I thought the schedule was pretty tough, but they look improved offensively. At least I know they're playing basically against air, but they couldn't even move the football against air in some instances last year. So the wide receiver room is better, and that makes me more inclined to laying points with Auburn this year.
And then the second game, UVA plus 1.5. Do you think Calandria is the truth?
I don't know if he's the truth, but
I don't think that question's ever been asked. Is Calandra the
First
truth?
off, I actually think Calandria is very good. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the ACC.
That is a big.
I think I really like Calandria.
The ACC?
I would say I describe he's fun to watch.
What about you? Would you take him over Castellanos?
No chance. Castellanos the best.
Well, sorry, you said top 5.
Castellanos top 1.
Okay, so Cam Ward. Will you take Castellanos over Cam Ward?
Yes.
Stop.
What about Grayson McCall?
No.
Yes. I'd take Castellanos over Chris.
How about?
All right, this conversation, this
This is opening a
insane.
can of worms. That
Insane.
Calandria over. This is the last one. Calandria over Grayson McCall.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, you're the only one who would take
we don't
that.
know about Grayson McCall.
I'd take him over the Wake Forest quarterback. If he protects the football, Virginia's the side here.
There we go.
If you win this bet, I just think Rico cannot be on the show for when he does his bet. 2-0.
Where's he at? Is he walking? Where's he at? Hey, come please, Brad, do my show. He's not even here.
That's Bosco.
You got
Bosco.
You got
Checks
Bosco.
You got
out. Checks
Bosco.
out.
Yeah, you got
Happens to
Bosco.
all of us. We all get Bosco.
But yeah, you're 1-0 on your best bet so far. So what's the best bet this week?
Going with a side, another late night, so you're gonna have to stay up late.
I like that.
I'm gonna
Love
lay
that.
the points with Oregon State, 5.5 or 6. Both teams have a new coach. San Diego State's. I love their new coach, San Diego State, Sean Lewis, but he's just a completely different system. I don't think the market watched their game last week. You look at the final, 45-14. Okay, they were 31-point favorite, won by 31. Well, they were down 6-3 at halftime. They were +3 in turnovers and scored 2 defensive touchdowns in the second half. So that was a misleading final. That's the definition of one. I just think Oregon State, you look at their last game against Portland State, whatever. They won pretty much close to expectation. It's the way they won. 360 yards rushing. I just think that's repeatable. They'll play man ball against an undersized San Diego State defensive front. So I'm laying the points with Oregon State.
I truly believe that you're right, that they didn't watch the game. Like, I do think that they, look at the score after. It's too late for them, you know?
Oh, it happened. Since I moved out west about a decade ago, I just found I cannot believe nobody watches Mountain West football.
No,
even out here.
no one does.
They weren't even watching Pac-12 football, I don't think. I always found value on the West Coast teams because you got an entire half of the continent where most people live not staying up and watching these games.
Yeah.
Oregon State -6 on DraftKings. That's your pick of pick of the week?
Yeah, that's the pick.
Okay. I like that.
There we go. Boom.
That's why.
You got your Clemmer stamp of approval.
Why did you ask that?
I just
awesome. That was crazy.
Here's why I said it. It's not crazy. He was saying 5.5, but it's 6 on DraftKings. So I want to make
5.5 or 6.
I want to create up. I don't know anything about this stuff.
Also, the
I rely on Brad.
It's not
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
to.
Just don't make it a part of the Monster Moneyline parlay. That's all we ask.
No, I wanted to ask.
5.5, 6
I
means
wanted to
nothing.
ask Brad because I take Brad's picks really seriously. I don't watch a lot of college football. I'm going to be up late watching this game and be very excited. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing.
Is this on TNT or True TV? The San Jose State game was on True TV.
I
On
hope
This
Thursday.
is
it's
on
something I can find.
CBS Sports Network.
Okay, interesting.
I might-
CBS SN.
The True TV.
Oh, I think I
CBS
have
Sports
that.
Network?
Yeah.
That's on.
yeah.
Yeah, that's I
You
have.
have CBS
iOS.
Sports Network.
Okay.
I would
All right,
assume so.
all right. Oh, great.
You have cable, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have all those sports.
Well, Brad, thank you.
Thank
very
you, Brad.
much. Just to confirm, Clement,
Thank
you
you,
know
guys.
it's -6.
I always liked. I did this
Yeah, it's
last
fine.
week.
I made it 7. So, I mean, I'm not one of those guys, I said
Thank you.
5.5
See?
and
I asked-
graded as a win.
It's a good
If
question.
it's 6, it's a push.
I like this. See?
Any FCS teams
Man of
to
honor.
target this week and FCS versus FCS matchups? I know those lines aren't out yet, but
You know what? We're not close enough friends for me to give you that info.
all right,
I love that. That's
fair.
I love that.
I had to ask though.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
I
Brad.
wouldn't give him to my best friend or my sister at this point. Let me bet the games first.
That's fair.
that shit does-
We'll see it on the ticker.
That shit does change so
He probably-
fast, and he
yeah.
moves it
Changes.
probably. Yeah. So that is very,
We experienced it. I did that on the first show last
Yep.
year, and the
Yeah, that
game
Cal
moved
Poly.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, that
It
was
a Cal
bad.
Poly game.
Yeah, I fucking missed it too. I remember I woke up a little late that morning and it was not good. But yeah, shout out Brad. Follow him on Twitter. Guy knows any team you say, he'll name a guy. It's
knows all the
ridiculous.
matchups, everything. It's crazy.
Wild. So appreciate you, Brad. 1-0 on the year for Pick Central, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you, Brad.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks for
you,
having me,
Brad.
guys. Take care. Good luck.
See you, Brad. Yeah, no, that guy is just straight out of casting.
He's a savant.
And
a
he
shark.
knows everything about college football. It's fantastic. It's should not be doing our show.
We appreciate him, though.
That's what I'm saying. He should not be. He's too good to do our show.
He helps me so much because, like I said, I don't know anything.
Again,
it's nice to have that.
Again, I text my future father-in-law and be like, "This is my pick." And last week he goes, "Wow, what a pick! Wyoming over? What a great pick! Yes, great. It's fantastic." He thinks I'm really sharp. Tonight, though.
Let's go. It's back, baby.
Oh, that voice just makes me think
I
the
get
Monster
excited.
Moneyline's coming back.
I'm excited.
I will say, this morning I woke up. I put bets in 2 days ago, so I've been ready for this game. I woke up this morning looking at our Barstool bets and seeing who bet the game, whatever, and I just see Dave, $300,000 on the Ravens. Can you imagine just the first game, $300K on the Ravens? And I struggle to do that always against the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are not great against the spread. I also think the defending champs are not very good the first game. I feel like that's
It's also kind of like the Chiefs. Like
He's just early
They're not
season.
good against-
Like, they usually don't start hot.
Usually it's the Super Bowl losers who don't start.
Oh, really? I thought it was the
I think even
winner.
winners,
Last year,
too, haven't-
last year was kind of an anomaly and keep in mind Travis Kelce was out
And Chris Jones.
and Chris Jones was out.
That was the
and
Lions,
They lost
right?
at home to the Lions.
Yes.
Yes.
And this year they added wide receiver in Xavier Worthy, which is like, I think he's going to be really good. I still think he is. but
rookie
then
wide receivers are always tough, though.
100%. I did bet him plus 180 to score a touchdown.
Okay.
Touchdown bets, DraftKings. And Rashee Rice is just second year, obviously getting better. I don't know. It's tough always to go against the Chiefs, but I kind of do like the Ravens today.
You say they're bad against the spread, and you're not wrong about that, Marty. But the spread here is so thin.
It's a
that
pick 'em, basically.
It's a 3-point. It's in Kansas City, like you said. So I'm on the Chiefs tonight because why does that mean?
Shocking.
I
Shocking.
Why is that-
Clemmer a favorite? No way.
You guys seem to forget. I beat
I'm
all
the
of you
best
last year,
NFL
except
I'm
for
the
one
best.
person. I forget. I think it was Marty. I think
Well, no,
Marty won last
but
year.
you also were winning
I am-
off like a 16-1 like Jake Browning QB sneak that like basically.
I'm also second this year too. By the way, if you add up all the bets we made, so relax with the Clemmer always plays favorites because Clemmer wins more than you do. So.
I am the best NFL gambler on the show, stats wise.
Are you?
PMT
sick.
stats did tell me I have the most units in the group for NFL.
So Marty can talk shit about me playing favorites, but no one else can laugh. You guys are all
but I just think
sucking my tailwind right now.
The Ravens are I don't know. I just feel like they're the play tonight. I'm more going player props and stuff. We'll get to that at the end, but adding Derrick Henry to this team, I just feel like they're going to get out of the gate hot. I don't know why. And
Well, they're
Zay
good. I mean, that's
Flowers-
why. I mean, they're really good.
No, I know, but obviously the Chiefs saw it too. It's just like I don't know. What do you guys? Where are you guys' heads at?
I bet the Ravens +3 and the under 47. Yeah, I think it's gonna be low scoring. Like they both don't go fast, like pace wise. And also, I think when you look at the game, like this is a game that was played however many months ago. That even though it was in Baltimore, the Ravens were -7. Like I just think and the teams you're looking at, I think are very similar, if not like the same. Even I mean the Chiefs lost Snead. And you said that the Ravens bring in Henry. I don't know how much that brings to like their. I think their run game is going to.
I think it
definitely it doesn't
helps,
hurt,
though.
but
It definitely.
I don't
helps.
know how massive of a difference it makes, to be honest. But I just trust their defense. Even the against the spread numbers, like they both have these like, incredible against the spread numbers.
I think you
As,
have to
like
say it helps.
small
though.
dogs are short favorites. They both are like insane, have insane like covering numbers like Lamar and Mahomes.
You gotta say it helps at running back though. I understand. It's
When I just look
running
down
back,
of like
but it's
how do I say it? Like basically compared to like what they had, like say like who would
Gus
be there instead of
Edwards
him.
being at the 2.
Like
instead
I
of
don't
Derrick
like
Henry
he's
helps.
definitely a better player, but I just don't know how much that's like. And I'm almost arguing against myself here, but I'm just my general take on it. I don't know like how much that's like propelling this team forward.
You're thinking of Derrick Henry when he's rushing for 2,000 yards. That's
No,
the
I'm
same
not. I'm
Derrick
not. I'm thinking of like you still have to take him more serious than Gus Edwards behind Lamar
Sure.
Jackson. Like I think
Fair.
that where it's like Lamar hasn't had a running back that like J.K. Dobbins been hurt every year. Like who's the running back's been like? He's a premier running back still. I
Derrick
understand.
Henry led the league last year in attempts. He had 1,100 yards, which is it? Oh, you're right, Smitty. He's not the
He's
guy
not
that he
the
was,
same.
but he still has. When's the last time the Ravens had a running back this good?
I mean, they've had like
Well,
Ray
Lewis,
Rice.
Ray
No,
Rice.
that's exactly. So we're going pretty far back.
but the way the
Ingram
Ravens
Ingram had a good year.
But the way the Ravens play systematically, it's not going to affect them really that much. Yeah, okay, you have Gus Edwards on the goal line scoring those touchdowns. Now it's Derrick Henry who's, just as efficient or better. Yeah, in the open field as the number one ball carrier is it better, but it's not like putting them as a Super Bowl favorite or anything.
No, I just think
the leap isn't
That's
extraordinarily great.
But there's
That's a fair
all
point.
I'm saying is there's a leap. That's really it.
there is a leap.
There's a leap. That's all I wanted to say. Because it's
From scale of 1 to 10, that leap could be a 3, but it's a leap.
it's
But
a
I think
leap.
when your
It's a
teams are
leap.
this good, though, when the Chiefs and Ravens are talking about a leap of 1 to 3, actually is pretty big. Same with like the Chiefs, like their
But also
wide receivers
Chiefs.
are better. Now, were
we-
they always really good, or at least their receiving core, counting Kelsey, always pretty good? Yeah, but now going from 1 to 3, that leap
Is
is.
Juju back?
I mean, he just signed.
I know, but
And also, like Hollywood Brown's hurt.
Holly Brown's hurt. Yeah.
yeah, but Xavier Worthy is supposedly like the
But like
fastest
you said,
guy.
we'll see. I mean, no, he's
I know.
super fast.
Again,
You never know what Andy Reid's going to do. Coming off 2 Super Bowls, who's the third string tight end tonight? What's his first touchdown?
but like I also like
DraftKings.
with Xavier Worthy, like Rashee Rice also coming back his second year. Like
He's had all the shit he's had this offseason. Like I think you kind of like you never know.
yeah, it's usually it doesn't affect.
He lost MVS.
I also think he knows he won't be on the commissioner's list. I think that gives you peace of mind. He's actually my pick for anytime touchdown, plus 165.
Mine is Xavier Worthy plus 180. You guys have a touch. I also have. I took a no sweat bet on Mark Andrews touchdown. So again, you can do that on DraftKings.
I might do that.
I think you get 4 of them.
You get one for each. Like you get one for today, one for tomorrow, one for Sunday, one for Monday.
Yeah, so I took one today on Mark
Mark
Andrews.
Andrews, I'll ride with you.
Yeah,
Let's go.
it's a why not? It's a no
not?
sweat
I think I
bet.
put mine on Pacheco first touchdown. So I'm on Flowers and Pacheco anytime touchdown, and I put some of them for first touchdown as well. Love Zay Flowers tonight.
Zay Flowers.
Zay
I love Zay Flowers all
It's
season.
a Zay
I
Flowers.
love Zay
I think
Flowers.
Zay Flowers is going to put asses in the seats this year.
He is.
For sure.
He's going to be a stud. He is a stud. I think he gets even more love this year. I think he puts up big numbers.
Is he going to make
agree.
people in wheelchairs stand up? The Pats have a guy like that.
Yep, Javon Baker.
Yeah. The for DraftKings, I want to just let
Right,
everyone
so hard to get that in.
know that you can use a 50% boost. I use that on Xavier Worthy receiving yards. It went from plus 100 to plus 150. And then there's also another boost, either Derrick Henry or Travis Kelce to score one touchdown was minus 330 to plus 100.
Yeah, I took that as well.
Oh, yeah.
no-brainer.
Wow.
So I took that
Kelsey
as
or
well.
Henry to get a touchdown is plus 100?
Yeah,
Okay.
on DraftKings. So that's
You-
why
you got to have the thing, though.
yeah, do the
Like the opt-in,
Yeah,
yeah.
opt-in. Yeah. So shout out to DraftKings. That's the they have so many great boosts. I have one parlay for the people as well. I got Patrick Mahomes over 270 yards passing, Travis Kelce over 60 plus yards receiving, Nelson Aguilar over 25 yards receiving, and then Derrick Henry over 70 yards rushing. I just it's a
I mean, he just keeps on coming back.
yep 25.
He's going to be a
yards.
10-year NFL veteran soon.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Dukes, didn't you have something with Nelson Aguilar?
I did. First touchdown. I gave it out 2 months ago.
All right. Hey, boy.
No. All right, I don't hate it.
I have a stat.
Okay.
I just found this. This is my nerd nugget, by the way. Nerd nugget. I have two. I have one for college football, but the one for the NFL. Pat Mahomes at home when the Chiefs are a favorite, 2-6, with the spread between -1.5 and -3.5.
Great stat.
Ooh.
What's that?
Really? So struggles in games against tough competition at home.
If the game is played during, I have this little.
Just not,
I have this
not
little.
in the
I have to
playoffs.
like select things. Yeah, let me say. If the game is played during the regular season, the team is the Kansas City Chiefs. The team is a favorite. The team is home. The QB is Patrick Mahomes, and the spread is between -3.5 and -1.5. They're 2-6.
That's interesting.
I saw a stat that the number one overall pick has like lost every first game they've played.
Yeah, 0-14 and 1 against the spread.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's a
Titans +4.
Titans +4 is literally why I took that. Like that's
They can't lose to the Titans.
but still
all the hype.
4 though.
by
Like
3.
even 3.
Well, yeah.
But you're right, they can't. But I also think the Titans can squeeze
And
it out.
outright.
I think the Titans can squeeze it out.
So the line on Travis Kelce
sad.
receiving yards is 57.5. I took the over. So if you look
I
at,
took over 70.
if you look at Kelsey's first games in September and October last year, he didn't play week 1, and then week 2 he played. He was 26 yards. But then the next 6 games, he got 58 or more yards. And then remember he got hurt, and then he didn't. That's why I think his yardage is a little lower than I think it's artificially lower. I think he gets over 58 yards then. Now, obviously, Ravens are a really good defense, too. There's that element of it. But I'm on the Kelsey over 58.
Legitimate
yards.
question regarding that. Is Taylor Swift going to be in the building tonight?
Did we
know.
hear a rumor that she was?
I would
Maybe
ass- I
mail?
would assume
I
she
just
is.
feel like she is all the time.
I would
unless she
assume
has
she
a concert.
is.
You know, I feel like
Yeah.
that she
Until the
just-
fake breakup, she will be there.
that is not true.
Yeah, that seems like I can't believe so many people bought that.
What do you mean? Look at the internet.
I
Dude.
know, I know.
Everyone buys. You put out one tweet from anybody, someone believes it.
You're right.
Is there any other bets that have been sticking out to you guys? I'm trying to look at some other ones. right
I'm
now.
taking Patrick Mahomes over 25 rushing yards. Well, 25 plus rushing yards.
Okay, any reasoning?
He scrambles a lot.
Yep.
Like, it's the most underrated part of his game. I was looking at his logs from last year, just to start off. 45 yards rushing, 30, 28, 51. One game with 0. I kind of like it.
I think I saw some stat. He's hit like whatever the total is tonight. He hit it last year and like
He only rushed for 15 yards in that AFC title game, but all it takes is really one big run.
in the regular season. I think he hit it like it was like maybe like 11 out of 17 or something like that. Like it hit it quite a bit at
So
that.
I have a theory that I think I like because I like Phil's pick. Is there a chance the Ravens are so good defensively they're going to cover their Chiefs wide receivers and then therefore forcing Mahomes to scramble more? Or am I like
I feel
over
like
under
him
thinking
scrambling's always does. Good.
He's very like he is very like opportunistic with it. Like it's not like he's looking for it, but like if it's there, he'll take it.
Right.
Because I was with on the DraftKings the happy hour things. They had a happy hour. It was Monday that I got at plus 100. It was like I I think it was Mahomes and Lamar to combine for 50 rushing yards or more.
That's easy.
Snagged it.
Yeah.
Plus 100. I think it was minus like 250.
How do we
Or
Also-
might get that in the first
also
half by
the-
himself.
It was only available for like 4 hours.
Another nugget from that stat: the 2-6 against the spread. They're 3-5 straight up. So that might tell you. Maybe
It's
if you're
just-
going to take the Ravens, maybe you also want to take money.
I just think this is the time. I think you're getting value on them. Like I think coming off like the Super Bowl, like I said, they were, even though it was like separate, like home and away. So a 7-point favorite to a 3-point dog is massive. And I mean the Ravens might even they might even be better on paper. Like listen, the Chiefs they'll get it done in the playoffs. When I'm saying a regular season game like this, game one,
It's just so hard
early.
to say that.
I like the Ravens.
It is so hard to say, but how many years have we seen the Chiefs just not be the Chiefs, especially early in the season?
Yeah, like this is what we're talking about.
It's the
week
spot.
one,
They
we
can
don't
come out and they
care.
just don't play
Yeah,
up.
if we're talking about week one, of course you got Shore. It's just so you just never know with them because it's so weird. Like they can just come out and you're like, oh well, that's the Chiefs. Like that's the Chiefs I know. That's the only thing that sucks.
I mean, but you're never gonna feel great betting against Mahomes ever.
Feel
horrible.
horrible.
But
But
I
guess
feel
what?
horrible.
But guess what?
dude.
You bet against them, you win it. You win
Look.
just as much as you lose.
Look, you know what type of team is coming out tonight for the Ravens. With the Chiefs, if this was week 17 or the playoffs, or week 17 to go or for a playoff berth against the Ravens, same exact scenario, you know. Week one,
You know,
you'd like to think, but you just don't know. How many times have we seen the Chiefs at home just like lay an egg?
yeah.
Would they lose to the Raiders last year?
Like double digits.
home?
Like
Yeah.
that's what I think. It's like the Chiefs thing. It's like they're not invincible.
No.
Like in the playoffs again, crunch time, you don't bet against them. But I think like a spot like this, there are definitely spots in the regular season that you can fade them.
They're invincible in February and January.
They have been for sure.
What do you guys think about this? Mark Andrews to catch a pass on the Baltimore Ravens' first drive, minus 120. That's nice.
Sure.
Minus 120, you know? There's some.
I get
There you go.
nervous.
3 rushes, 3 and out.
Yeah, what do you think about the Chiefs' defense? I guess I just get nervous because there's such a high probability of like a 3 and out or a really short drive because the
Chiefs
Chiefs' defense is so good.
Chiefs defense is why they won a Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, so I would be nervous making that pick.
Let me ask you a question. What is
Also a little bit.
the kickoff rule, right?
Yeah.
What is the. Is it hard to get a touchback now?
No, it's the same.
What do you
Will
mean?
the opening kickoff be a touchback?
He has to boom
Plus-
it. And,
plus 210. Yes.
That it will be a touchback.
I mean,
Yeah. That's
Tucker and Buckner.
well,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Plus 210 as a yes, it will be a touchback? Is it the same?
no, it's different.
Well,
now.
they got but I just
Saying
think,
the yardage
I've
of.
been playing it on Madden, which is sad, but like that's like and if you let it go, you start at the 20, right? If you get a touchback at the 20, but if you start running it out, you
I don't care about the.
You get it at 30.
I'm saying where's the kick? Is a kickoff some the same spot? They've been kicking out of the end zone almost every time. Why wouldn't that? It must be further back then if it's plus 210.
no, they kick from the same spot.
Then what? So
Kick from the 35.
So then why
No?
is it plus 210?
Yeah.
it's
I think
hard.
it's-
It's harder to kick in the end zone in Madden. Not that that matters. It's just stupid. I know.
Well, because
Am I talking to Phil right now?
no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm,
Wait,
I'm,
this is
I'm
the-
aware they changed the onside kick rules. I did not know if they.
Oh yeah, they changed the kickoff.
kickoff.
You're in this like weird box, this green box now.
Yeah, the
been watching the
kickoff is the XFL where they line up 10 yards away from each other.
Yeah.
to the point where there be no touchback.
Yeah. No is
Well, there is a
minus-
touchback.
But if
You
you,
can get a
yeah,
Oh
if
no,
you
but
just
but
boot
I
it out
mean
the end zone,
for
it's a
be
touchback.
plus 2 whatever with 2 of the biggest boots in the game. Guys.
Minus 280 is no.
Something's up.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I think it's also because strategically, like if you're almost better to pooch it and basically drop it like
Maybe
right at the
that's-
front of the end zone, and there's if you can like tackle them
That might be
earlier.
it then.
Like I feel like I've seen a lot of that where it's almost become like I think they were kind of playing with it because it's preseason. They wanted to see kind of how it unfolds.
And
but
those are the 2 kickers. that
I've
could
seen
do
a
it.
lot of that. But these are 2 guys that could boot it out of the end zone.
But I also
They
can
can also
see.
pooch.
I could also
Sure,
see
they can
like
sky it.
they miss it or a guy just is so doesn't know what to do. He just kneels.
If it's a
in the end zone.
touchback now, it's start at the 30. So I think that's de-incentivizing kickers to just boot it into the end zone. They want the guys to run it
It's a
back.
30
It's harder
instead
to
of
get
25.
Yes, I believe that's true.
See, someone's got to write these rules down for me.
I found a great stat.
Okay.
It's even better than my other one.
Oh.
Lamar Jackson on the road when he's a dog of 1 to 3.5, 6-0
But
against the spread.
Patrick Mahomes in September, 56 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That's the thing about stats.
What does it do with
you
the
can
spread?
find any stat that better.
Yeah, but that's not finding any stats.
I don't know that Lamar Jackson is a very credible.
His numbers are always
Lamar
good.
Jackson.
Well, yeah, but
fantastic.
that's true too. Right, but it just shows you he's
His
excellent in September. He's also excellent in November.
His touchdown interception ratio is always good.
I was just saying the spread ones.
It's not a bad. It's
No,
a
it's
great
good.
stat.
It's his best of any month, though.
What is
That's his best of any month. Phil? Yeah.
Smitty, what's your picks for tonight?
I'm on the Ravens +3 in the under. And if both of them lose, I will not bat an eye because this is for the love of the game tonight.
That's the thing.
And I'll say this right now, preface this for tomorrow. I am staying the hell away from that Packers-Eagles game.
Oh, I love the Packers.
Yeah, but you don't know the outlying situations.
Too many variables.
I know a lot. I know all the circumstances. I know that Darius Slay is going to get in trouble. I know that he's going to get in trouble.
Get in trouble.
He's going to get in trouble.
You know, weird shit always happens on the field with these games. You see it in when they go down to Mexico and play, how there's 1 million points. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same in Brazil. I mean, London, jet lag. I mean, the Eagles didn't leave till Wednesday, until yesterday. Like,
that was
10-hour flight. It just seems like the reporters were down there all week off Twitter because Twitter's banned in Brazil for some reason. And like,
Not for some reason. There is a reason.
Oh, there's a reason. But the players and staff didn't get down till Wednesday night. I don't know. There's just it's a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
For this game betting wise.
Government censoring their people is the reason.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I
just want. I mean, it's a reason.
Yeah, it's not.
I know it doesn't affect you, Marty, but it is.
No, I'm saying not pick Central.
For anything. That's what's happening in the world, Marty. They're playing football there. It's okay to talk.
And actually, I mean, for football purposes, watching the game. Like all of us have Twitter or X up because it's pretty much the most real live time thing you can go for, especially for injuries and stuff. If that's not up, like we have no info.
They have Truth Social down there.
That's true too.
They're controlling messaging, which I know is as small as football, but we're seeing what it's like. I think that shit's important as Americans to be like, oh fuck, like the world is a fucking scary place.
Also,
so let's send the NFL teams down there.
Well, there's a lot of money. Money. Once again, it goes back to these owners. Like I always say every fucking show, when it comes to cash, it's all that matters.
In terms of time zones, Brazil is only 1 hour ahead of us, so it's not like it's a massive time difference.
Yeah, but it's 10 hours away. It's very south.
I'm just saying in terms of time difference, it's not like it's 8 o'clock at night over there right now.
I think everyone knows that, Phil.
Not everyone.
Still, Phil, you took. How long was your flight to North Dakota?
What was it? Well, it was 2 different flights. It was 5 hours?
Connect, yeah.
5 hours.
And it's twice that to Brazil.
Ev, what's your picks?
Yeah, I'm on the Ravens +3 and the under 47. I'm on Zay Flowers touchdown +195. Pacheco to score +100. Sprinkled the first touchdowns, both of them as well. That's what we're rolling with tonight.
Yeah, I got a parlay of Mahomes over 275, Kelsey over 60, Aguilar over 25, and Henry over 70 plus. Mark Andrews anytime touchdown 155, Xavier Worley +180 anytime touchdown, and then I have Henry or Travis Kelsey +100 to score, and then Xavier Worley over yards +150 on DraftKings.
What's that first parlay payout?
It
was a long one. Yeah, I'll read my way. You pulled it up. I was just curious because it's interesting.
The first one is +1,600.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, a little juicy sucker.
Okay, I'm on Chiefs -3, like I said. Travis Kelsey over 57.5 yards. That's -120. Rashee Rice anytime touchdown +165, and that's it. Oh, and then baseball. I have. I'm sorry, I forgot all my baseball pick. Baseball pick of the day. I had the worst pick of all time yesterday.
All time.
All time.
Worse than your White Sox pick last week?
Oh yeah, it was worse. I said that the Reds would. The Astros would have the lead after 5 innings. The Reds scored 9 in the first. It was just an atrocious pick.
Not good.
Me. Not good. Not good. My pick of the day is Taj Bradley over 2.5 earned runs. It's +115. He's been getting hammered in August. I know Twins offense isn't great, but not bad either. So Taj Bradley over 2.5 earned runs.
Bobby Miller got destroyed last night
Ah,
by
shit.
the Angels.
Yeah, he did. You're right, Phil. The Angels teed off.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. That is the show, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Talk some NFL.
A lot of NFL, and yeah.